Hello, mates, and welcome back to the Boys Gone Wild podcast. All right.
Hello, geezers.
Yeah, I was in a green room with two American comics, and I said, really? And one of them said, really? Made fun of my accent.
Were you in London?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
You can't do that in London.
But I guess in that room, I was in the minority. There was three of us.
Well, were they just making fun of you whining rather than your accent?
No, they weren't making fun of it.
Really?
I actually think it was because this American act was with another American act, and she hadn't had like an American conversation for a while. I think that the reflex to make fun of a British accent when you hear it just kicked in.
Right.
Because I think because it is a silly accent actually. To us, it's not at all.
What isn't?
British accent.
What's sillier? I think American's sillier.
I don't know.
It's just an English accent, but sillier, really. We're the more proper accent. They're the silly cunts.
But it's like bottle of water, Tuesday. Hello, mate.
Well, that's
Like,
it can sound dumb.
It's not even dumb because I don't even think these guys sound fucking thick. They sound like they fucking know what's going on. They're street smart. You know what I fucking mean? Like this guy knows more than this guy. Hey guys. Like that guy is dumber than you fucking what, cunt? I'll put you right through that fucking window, cunt.
Just don't see the silliness in it.
You don't think this is silly? Hello, mate.
Well, Americans think that our accent is intellectual and smart, and they believe everything we say.
Hello, mate.
You can keep doing it. You can keep doing that, but
there's a huge variety of accents though, and there's two stereotypes.
But they took the piss out of you in your RP.
Yeah, it's true. But I think it's just I think that really, you know.
Yeah, but it depends what you say. I think if you say something profound and like emotional, then maybe it's fine. It's just like if you're really, I can't find my mum, then you sound stupid. But you're like, I love you so much.
I don't think they don't have a stereotype of us as thick, even if when it's this sort of accent. They have a stereotype of us being fucking bleak. Like it's sort of thick, but it's more like you know, fish and chip, shit weather, bad teeth. Hello, mate. And it's more like this person. They don't think this guy's thick. They just think he lives a fucking horrid life.
Yeah.
Rusty tea water. You know.
They all think that we have just tea and cereal. I
think tea is one of the
cereal?
most.
Yeah, we're famous for our cereal.
Cereal.
Yeah, I think so.
I think tea is one of the most accurate stereotypes people have of us.
Yeah, I agree.
There's a big thing that
we've got 3 teas in this room right now. We're all sipping on our fucking teas as we speak.
In my suffragette mug.
Wow, that's really brave of you.
Yeah, these nasty bitches set the world back 100 years.
Why are you drinking out of their mug then?
Because I love it. I fucking love it.
You love what?
I fucking love these nasty bitches and all they've done. Do you think you could ever live in the States? No. You could never live stateside.
I know, yeah, I could live in New York City.
You could live in the Big Apple.
I could live in the Big Apple. I don't think anywhere else.
What about maybe Yellowstone?
Like New Orleans. Yellowstone, I don't think I'd fit in. I think I might enjoy living there, but I don't think the townspeople would enjoy me living there.
I don't know. I think you could get pretty racist if you wanted to.
Maybe. But
I think you've got to believe in yourself more.
But I can't herd cattle, so...
Yeah, I guess so. But I also think if you put your fucking mind to it and pulled your fucking finger out your ass, maybe you'd be able to.
Maybe I could. Do you think that's what's stopping me being able to herd cattle? Yeah. Is my lack of ambition to herd cattle?
Attitude. It's an attitude problem with Andrew. It's always been an attitude problem.
Yeah.
Churlish.
Should just be out there herding cattle for this eventual move to Yellowstone, which I'm not planning.
Could you live stateside, Charlie?
I think I could live in New York.
You're basically fucking American now.
I mean,
it is. Yeah, you're a big old smiley prick. Like,
yeah, you're
walking around.
You're happy and stupid.
Whoa, it's sunny. I've got a meal in front of me and everything's going to be okay.
I think we were talking about this yesterday, actually.
What's wrong with that?
We were.
It's what's quite extraordinary. Like, it is a plus point, Charlie.
You hate it.
You know, I don't hate it. I'm amazed by it.
I don't love it.
I actually do like it. I do think the reason why Charlie hasn't been fired from either of this podcast or the other podcast is because it's hard to get rid of someone with this sunnier disposition.
Yeah.
Because it is deeply missing.
It's absolutely fascinating how you can be so happy.
But I guess it's normally doing the podcast with relatively intelligent people who are weighed down with, some of the realities of the world. It's hard to go try and find a producer who doesn't have this.
True.
Going to a miserable producer will be quite hard. It will be a lack of sunshine.
Yeah,
that's true.
You're a ray of sunshine.
Thank you,
Charlie.
but I do get really sad on my own. I should.
Yeah, and that's. I believe you.
Like, on my own, it's fucked sometimes.
Don't ruin
But you're
it.
just a true extrovert, aren't you? You charge up with other people. You get energized by being around people.
I do, yeah.
So then you. So like my nan actually, who it doesn't end up working out well for extroverts. I think I've talked about this,
right?
Because my nan's a true extrovert,
right?
Always speaking to people, has to be around people. She's like Tinkerbell. She doesn't get enough attention, she will die, right? Loves attention, but when you're 96, all your friends start dying, and you become harder to hang around with. Your memory starts going.
Yeah.
You become isolated.
Yeah.
That's when introverts start fucking coming into their own because you're in your 90s.
Yeah, people don't
You're
really
sat at
know
home watching TV, where she still is desperate to speak to people. Loads of people who aren't even her family. She's just wandering up, speaking to people in the street, and it's just not.
But that might be like,
it's going to end badly for you, Charlie, when you're decrepit and still wanting to talk to people.
No, because I think that's what keeps you alive. I think people.
Yeah, well, she's 96.
Those who don't want to chat to people might. I think there is actually a scientific link between not wanting to chat to anyone and dying earlier.
Well, on the Blue Zones doc that we talked about, remember Blue Zones? You don't remember this?
Can't remember.
So Blue Zones are these 5 areas in the world that have the most centenarians, so people who live over 100 in the world. And this one study was done, what links all 5 of these zones. It would seem to be, breaking it down to the big link, is walking up hills on a commute.
Get it?
Eating squash or yam,
that's a fucking shame, isn't it? Who likes a squash? Fucking
and
weirdos
having a community
squashes.
and having community and always seeing.
Imagine chopping up a butternut squash on a
So
Tuesday.
it seems to be walking up hills, eating squash, and having mates.
I'm not doing any of that shit.
None of it.
What's living if I've got to chuck a squash down me every week? That can fuck off.
A focus on whole unprocessed foods.
Duh.
Yeah, I guess so.
Duh. I'm not eating fucking squash though. That could naff off. Squash is shit.
To be fair,
do you like squash?
I hate squash.
Yeah, squash is wank.
I
love
actually,
squash.
it's one of the things that
Robinson's is fucking delicious.
Was that a joke? Oh, you are thick, aren't you?
Why?
You are thick. God.
Some people that drink Ribena live to 100. They'll die at 50. What are you talking about, Chaz? Butternut squash, other types of squash, vegetables.
Oh, right.
That's why I said yams, squash.
Yams and squash, that's why I said butternut squash before.
So do you like squash?
Yes, I think it's kind of
So when you
impossible.
said butternut squash, you're like, what, butters and nuts?
Butters, that sounds shit. No wonder they don't want to eat it.
Robinson's butter and nut squash.
Yes, we like squash, Charlie. Everyone likes squash. It's like asking if you like fucking sugar. You fucking maniac. You think that people live to 100 because they're drinking Robinsons? Robinson's orange squash.
All over the world. It's linked.
Everyone would just be
They're
drinking it all the time.
They're just drinking orange and pineapple
Why wouldn't
squash.
you? It's obviously delicious.
It's amazing.
It's squash.
What's your favourite flavour?
Probably apple and blackcurrant. I prefer darker squashes.
I'm a Ribena guy. I used to come back from school and have 4 Jaffa cakes and a Ribena.
Yeah, Ribena is better. For some reason, I wasn't counting that in the squash world, but it is.
It's the best form of squash.
What's amazing is that when you get the high concentrate Ribena and you make it, you're like, this is as good as a bottle of Ribena.
Say it again. What are you fucking talking about?
Yeah, I didn't get that.
What are you
Did you understand it, or did you backed it so
Don't
much?
understand.
I think it's like for one more time for the people in the back.
Yeah, say it again.
Now this.
No, yeah, I've no idea what you're talking about.
I think the thrill of realising that the squash version of Ribena is just as good as the bottled version of Ribena, like the juice.
Like the
drink.
one you get in a shop.
Yeah,
It's
pretty much the exact same.
100%.
And that's pretty thrilling. Because
What else you get that
the
with?
amount you're getting out of it.
What else you get that with? What can you recreate at home, drink or food-wise, that's as good as, the classic, the original? You can't make Coca-Cola at home, can you?
I think the closest, it's not as good, but the closest that they've managed to get it is probably the Pizza Express home pizzas.
And that's a way off, I'd argue.
Yeah, fair enough.
Compared to a Ribena.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. You are right. You're a maniac. This old squash tobacco, which I don't want to move away from too quickly.
Let's find out what they've done.
Worst squash flavours.
No, we should find out. Yeah, I don't know. No, let's not find out.
So wait, do you like squash, the vegetable? Do you like butternut squash?
I don't think I've ever really had it.
Yeah.
I was a very fussy eater when I was growing up, and I'm no longer a fussy eater, but something that's never, ever, I've ever got over is squashes.
Yeah, I agree.
Is it like a pumpkin?
I don't think it's a million miles away.
It's not too. Do you know what? And I said this to my mother, and I stand by it. The one thing that I don't like ever is cooked.
Like your mum, you thought you said it to your mum.
Right.
Yeah, it was a bit of a stretch,
Yeah.
but we can continue. It's fine. We've got plenty more podcasting to do.
A cooked orange vegetable.
Cooked orange, carrot.
Don't like cooked carrot.
You don't like a carrot?
I like a carrot. I don't like cooked carrot. I don't like it when it's cooked.
But you like a raw carrot?
I love a raw carrot.
With what? Some guac?
Sometimes, but sometimes if it's really organic and it's got a bit of dirt on it and it's got the thing coming out the end, I'll like fucking Bugs Bunny.
You're not even peeling that.
I'm washing it.
You're washing it, yeah. No, I think it's better to not peel it. That's where the goodies are in the skin, really.
It's like skin on fries. It's got a rustic feel to it.
It does. Well, I've started
dirty carrots. Fully loaded carrots.
Yeah. With mud. I've started to try and do, instead of crisps, carrots. It's an alternative. I think you should try it.
That's very Blue Zone of you.
It is very blue. Well, it's not squash.
Yeah.
So it's irrelevant. I'm not fucking introducing squash into my diet.
Yeah.
Chop up some carrots. Make some guac.
But yeah, cooked carrots, butternut squash, sweet potato.
Sweet potato is, vastly overrated.
I really don't like it.
I don't mind it. Who's that, Charlie?
It's a fucked carrot. So
that's not one carrot, is it? Yeah. That's the biggest carrot in the world?
That's the heaviest carrot.
Right.
That's a horrible looking carrot.
And it belongs to Chris Qualley.
I think the point I was saying was about the need for community when you're older. That's what...
we're trying to look at a big carrot, mate, so would you mind shutting up? Jesus Christ, that's awful. That's a horrible little thing. Well, walking up hills, fine. We can do that. We can engineer that. This isn't a non-hilly area. It's not a particularly hilly area, but it's not a non-hilly area. Yeah. Walking down here, I'm up and down some hills.
I guess stairs, if you have stairs in your house, that will help you live for a long time.
True.
An old person walking up the stairs and you can see it fucking hurts them to hell. They can't stand it.
Yeah.
But they will live a long while. That's why there's so many ancient people walking upstairs still.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, I used to come down
like shopping bags. You'll see an old decrepit woman walking up the stairs, and it's like that's why they're.
Do you know what? I'm gonna make a point, and I don't know if anyone's gonna get it, but you know those women who you see walking around town with their shopping bags, and they're walking at the slowest speed you've ever seen.
Yeah, they've got like a fucking spine like a quaver.
I always wonder, how in the world do they get home?
How are you getting home?
How are you getting home? The speed at which they are walking is minus. I'm like, where? Because I'm seeing them in the middle of roads. Like the shop is a while away. Yeah. That's a 4-hour journey they're making. Yeah. I always wonder. I don't think you're going to make it. I'm not entirely sure you actually get home. I think they're just in a continuous loop. Because by the time they get back home, they need to go back to the shop.
I don't like thinking about it too much.
It's very sad. It's very bleak. But honestly, they're just waddling along at the speed of a sloth, let's say.
Yeah, you need a rap entourage into your 90s. That's what keeps you going. You need a crew.
Yeah.
You need a whole team. I've started at the bottom, now we're here.
The closer.
Started at the bottom, now the whole fucking team.
The money man.
Yeah.
The good time pal.
Yeah, the spread guy. You need a spread guy.
What, marmalade?
No, he sorts out the spread. Nice spread.
Marmalade?
No. Back show.
Oil?
No.
Olive oil spread?
Listen to me. Green room. Back of the show.
Right. What shows are we playing when we're 95?
This is the entourage.
This is a BGW Live podcast at 95.
We're hosting the bingo.
Yeah.
The spread.
Right.
That's all the food on the back.
Rennie's.
Yeah. It's a buffet.
Paracetamol. WD-40 for your knees.
Yeah. What? Because it's... Oh, nice.
Werther's Originals.
Yeah. Already taken out the packet, all in a big bowl.
Is there anything... If they discovered this new method to be a part of the Blue Zone, but it was horrific, like is there any... What would you do if it guaranteed you long life? Like,
you're gonna.
Well, the problem with the Blue Zones thing is it doesn't guarantee you long life. It is potential. One of the many things we're told constantly will help you live a while. Yeah, and that's the problem with any of these things. You got to really collate the information and really think, what am I going to do?
What was your question?
Say there was a link. It wasn't even confirmed, but there seemed to be a link between going to a shopping centre and like screaming into bins.
Right? Yeah, because you have to give an example.
Yeah, like that. If there was like that,
that was the Blue Zone.
They don't know for sure. It's like that. Eat squash and scream into bins in like.
How many times do I have to scream into a bin?
Once a week.
And am I no, I'm not doing that. Yeah. I'm not doing that.
You have to spend about half an hour.
Because
you've got to live gracefully.
What I'll do,
that's no way to
in the same way that I try and avoid processed food, but I'll still eat quite a lot of processed food. But when I can, when I'm at home, when I'm not out, I'll try and eat better.
When you're near a bin.
When I'm near a bin, I'll fucking scream into it. It won't be like I won't be that disciplined. I'm not that disciplined with most of my health stuff. It's just doing doing what you can and what works with your
I'm not going to go out
routine.
my way to scream into bins, but if a bin presents itself to me, I will happily scream into it. I completely agree.
If me and Andrew walk in there, should we just scream into a bin?
Yeah, should we go, there's a bin there quickly? Yeah, 100%. I'm not going, there's no way to live your life because, you've got to feel somewhat proud about the achievements you've done and the life that you've lived on your deathbed. And if I've screamed into a shopping centre bin every week, I don't think it's going to be worth the additional 10 years I gain from it.
Yeah.
I think maybe it is if you get over that. If you're just like, right, well, I'm going to live longer. I can go and like enrich loads of other people's lives. I can do more with mine. I just have to scream into a couple bins.
Well,
you
you're
can have a
saying
sign,
you're
you can have a little
presuming,
badge. You can have a little
no.
badge being like, I'm a bin.
It's pathetic. You're a bin screamer.
Yeah, you don't need a
You're
badge.
so obsessed with living another 10 years that you go into busy shopping centres and scream into a bin. You don't deserve the other 10 years.
I think
Now,
you
an
do.
interesting one would be if it came out from the blue zones that for
boy band.
men,
That's boy zone.
masturbating 5 times a day
Yeah.
helped you live. So all the men.
Well, then I'm going to live to 506. Put a sound effect after that, can you? A little boing.
Okay, please. We need to get more sound effects.
Can we do more sound effect? Boing. For jokes like that. Yeah, put a little boing after that, please, Charlie. Yeah.
Or a water balloon popping.
I think boing, let's make it less common and a bit more jovial. Do you know what I mean?
But that would be an interesting one because there's obviously sometimes you see obviously the Independent will post study shows and it'll be absolute nonsense. And there's some people think
save lives.
But I guess there's the view about masturbation and health I always found interesting. Because there's obviously the no nutters, which is more, I guess, it's less about health, not masturbating. It's more about focus.
It's kind of more about mental health.
Yeah. Or it's actually about it's about discipline.
Yeah.
It's about trying to avoid distractions.
Yeah.
But I guess if it came out,
Coming
we
4
can't be
times a day.
sure though. We can't be sure. This is just a link.
But a strong link with a
strong link.
legitimate study,
There's a book out,
peer reviewed.
Well, it's more like a controversial professor comes out with this study, but it's
But has he been peer reviewed in a
has been
journal?
yeah.
Then I'm okay. We're okay. How many times?
5 times.
5 times a day. I don't know.
That helps you live longer, but the more you do, the better. But it's like having your 5 a day.
I think the world would go into turmoil at that point.
Yeah, but I guess the problem is it's so easy in some ways.
Yeah.
And it's so like it means you whenever you're
I don't
thinking
wanna
about,
live in
whenever
a
you're
world.
thinking about having a wank, you'll be like, well, it is for my health.
I don't want to live in a world where the longest person to live is just the one who's come the most. I'm not sure that's a good world to live in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just, and then old people just become horrible.
Yeah,
You're just
'cause every
looking
time-
at everyone who
every
times
time you
100,
see
you're
someone
like, you must have had a lot of wanks.
Yeah.
105. Ugh.
That's gross.
That's 6 wanks a day, haven't you?
Yeah, people are just all booing people who've made it over 100.
It will really flip the kind of respect your elder thing. It's like, you guys are gross as fuck. Stop wanking. Yeah, look, all of this is a payoff about living life and extending life.
Yeah.
But there's an importance to maintaining your soul, I think, and wanking 5 times a day and or screaming to a bin every week is something that it's not, there's a payoff to it.
Yeah, you don't need to live forever.
You don't need to, and it's extending something. You're just delaying the inevitable.
Yeah. And
I
what
don't-
is that life?
Yeah, and I'm not sure wanking 5 times a day is gonna make your life worse. It might make it longer, but I think trying to squeeze in 5 wanks
things
a day.
fall apart. I think it'd be hard to keep up a sexual relationship if you're wanking that much.
It's true.
You're never going to be in the mood.
No.
Says babe.
I've come 5 times already. What do you mean? But it's.
Could you ever go into a no nut sort of focus mode?
God, it'll be something that I haven't considered since about 12 years old. But I don't
Did
think.
you consider it when you were 12?
No.
I don't think you ever did.
No, I just know it's something that I haven't lived about since I was 12.
Right.
There's a big time in my life which is pre-first come and post. But I don't think. Oh, I don't know. I'm sure I could.
No, but do you think you could ever see would you ever try it like a dry Jan sort of thing?
No, it's low down on the list.
Yeah.
I'd probably actually do dry Jan first before I do penis dry Jan.
Do you think you would ever consider? I think you might need it. Actually.
I think you'd really benefit from it.
Yeah.
What? In what
Stop
sense?
coming into your bath for a week and you might feel a bit better when you're by yourself.
What, is it like a focus thing or is it kind
A
of
focus
or
thing,
a spirit and soul
discipline.
thing?
I don't know. I am genuinely interested about because you feel bad afterwards. So is that you trying to tell yourself? Is that like?
No, I think it's just shame associated with sex and masturbation in modern society.
Is that just modern society?
I think so.
Well, you think so? You think like monkey cavemen? They're doing it. There's not like
Yeah, I don't think monkeys feel shame when they have sex.
Booger.
Absolutely. It's hard to translate the Ooga Booga language into our language.
Oogly boogly.
What is life Ooga Booga about Ooga? See?
I think it's the porn that makes you feel bad. I don't think it's inherently shameful.
Yeah, but
do you feel ashamed every time you orgasm?
I don't really feel shame.
No, I don't. I don't masturbate even that much anymore. I guess it's much more a reward these days. It's much more like
a wank.
Yeah, I think I enjoy it more. Yeah, it's really like.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think living with your girlfriend, it's really like a. Yeah, I think you can appreciate it. In a way, I feel people who are just wanking all the time, they don't appreciate these things as a luxury.
Yeah, no, I understand. I can see that being the case, 100%.
But I do often think if you can, I think there is some value also to abstaining. I think the discipline of abstaining from pleasure.
Yeah,
I think there's something to that where it's just it is a pocket, not a pocket pussy, but it's a pocket pleasure, right? It's like it's always on you.
What, my dick?
Yeah, you can always. It's like
within reason,
sort of. But within reason.
You're
not talking about consequences, but you could pretty much do it anywhere. It doesn't matter where.
Yeah.
So I think having that basically having that pleasure in your pocket. That fucking.
It's your dick in your pocket. You keep saying pocket. It's your dick in your pocket.
No, but I mean it's on you all the time.
I think his knob's in his pocket.
No, but it's like having a Big Mac in your pocket.
Yeah.
At all times.
Yes.
You can always gorge.
But there is, but at the same time, it's healthy to masturbate.
Is it?
Yeah, well, but bear in mind, let's just talk physical health. I think it's like the act of, we're meant to be coming. I've seen the only thing I've seen where it's good to not come is for this disciplined mindset thing that only 25-year-old TikTokers are talking about. Whereas the majority I've seen you should maspate or
go
at
on
least
the no nut. Type in book on nofap.
You should come regularly. It's bad for your body.
Really sincere professors who spent their life dedicated to trying to get people to stop masturbating.
But when we're talking about, if we compare it to something like processed foods, because we're trying to get back to natural whole foods. Right, so when we're meant to be jacking.
I guess the real thing, which is bad, is pornography. That is
100%.
That is it. Yes. I guess can you detach the two?
Yeah. 100%. So we're talking about coming rather than masturbating.
Yeah, I guess non-pornographic wanking probably is fine.
That's fine, yeah.
But also, to be honest, in some ways, it gives you a level of mental dexterity.
I've never seen him be more serious during his topic. He's really taking this in and thinking about it.
He's writing stuff down.
Right, yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah.
Right, so I can come just not.
Is the light? How's the light?
It's all good.
Okay, good. I think there's also something to be said for the mental dexterity of being able to use your own thoughts to masturbate.
100%.
I think there's something, I'm sure, much like, listening to a baby listening to Mozart, it opens pathways in your brain.
Yeah.
I think constantly having to use your own brain. I think that there's doorways that open.
Yeah, I couldn't agree
It's
more.
Stretching the muscle,
yeah,
right, and beating the feet.
100%.
It's righteous.
Well, yeah, no, it is righteous. It is righteous.
Yeah, I guess. Is it noble?
It's from God.
It's noble. It's from God. Yeah, it's from God.
It's a gift from God.
Well, you're exercising your imagination as well, which not.
I guess it's like. Yeah, I guess these themes are woven throughout all of history in the way that it's like. These dark satanic mills, in Jerusalem, the kind of factories coming in and destroying the countryside, God's green land.
Porn.
That's the dark satanic mill. It's the pornographic military industrial complex, right?
Yeah, I think that's one reading of it, certainly.
And why is it such a scary word? Porn.
I don't know if porn is a scary word. I think you've added that.
Is porn
a scary word?
No, porn is
that's
better.
an excellent question. You have to answer that right.
Porn is better, but porn feels just very like.
Well, they're
porn.
very similar.
It's like a beat almost.
No,
it's probably because they mean different things.
I think it's completely because it's what it means to you. I think
Do you reckon
that's a
it's what it
Pavlovian
means?
response because you're so used to typing in porn.
Yeah,
it's a scary word.
Would it be uncouth if our whole podcast, how all these podcasts always have like a weight loss challenge,
right?
There's always the other podcasters where it's like two fat podcasters being like, we're going to lose.
Yeah.
What if us three
Yeah.
did no nut. Would that not be funny and a bit weird?
No,
But it would be funny.
I'd be down.
It'd be funny if we come back next week and we're all like this. Like,
Charlie and I will fail. Charlie and I will fail on day
what would
one
be
or
funny?
two. I can't
It'd
imagine
be
we'll
funny
make
if
it
we did
far.
like a big thing at Song and Dance about like a sponsored, structured, no fap. Like it's a big thing. Please, we're doing it for charity. It's like a Sam Thompson. Like,
would be, look-
yeah. But then
Oh, yeah.
we like
charity.
work on makeup to make us look every week. We look completely fucked. We're like yellow. We're like what? Like literally clinging on.
Yeah, it's an idea.
And we don't mention it.
It would be an interesting thing because there's, you know, with this whole focus thing, I mean, because once you're getting used to it, there's no way that it's not going to fuck your focus for at least a week or two. Because you're just like...
Like when you quit sugar or caffeine.
Yeah, well, you're just like...
It's bad
I
for
can't
2 weeks.
focus on my work because I need to come.
Look at these awful.
So you had to break through.
You have to break through that bit.
Because that's
And
what
then I imagine
like
this-
everyone quitting
Yeah.
sugar has the same
Well, it's the
story.
same thing as alcohol. If you quit, you know, you've got a couple of weeks where you're like, oh, I want to drink, and then you're like, oh, it's great.
You see those TikToks of people in withdrawal,
Of what?
like alcoholics
Alcohol.
in withdrawal,
Yeah, all the time.
and it's just like
dark, horrible.
it's literally not.
Isn't it fucking kind of fascinating?
Yeah. So is that going to be you?
That's going to be me. 3. He hasn't come for 3 days.
Well, because they show you the alcoholics show you like. There's this one TikToker. It's like he's showing 8 in the morning. He's like, this is
Yeah.
because I haven't had a drink, and then he
God.
literally has a double vodka, and the shaking stops.
Yeah,
immediately.
That is a horrible little place to get into, isn't it?
So we were editing something yesterday, me and Andrew, and my back was fucked.
Oh, yeah.
It was completely fucked, my back. I think it was genuinely because I was playing pool with Matt.
Yeah.
And I was even saying, like, I must be doing this wrong because this is fucked. I'm like, I got down low and then I look up and it's just like a lot of pressure on my back. Anyway, I fucked my back.
You've got quite a
Yeah,
square
and it's just like really tense when I'm doing it. So I think I just fucked my back.
You probably need to relax when you play pool a bit more.
Probably. And I literally was in agony. So I've never done this. I just typed in masseuse. There was one 5 minutes down the road. Called up. They said, you can come in now. Went there. Did a 45-minute session. She sorted me out. She was great. It was Chinese masseuse. Similar to the only other time I've been to a masseuse, actually. So kind of broken English. And both of them, at the end, offered me a happy ending.
Can you believe it?
I got offered a happy ending.
Really?
Now, what shocked me about this story in a way is that you didn't tell me until like 2 hours after being back in the room. You were like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Then they offered me. I was like, I've never known
Yeah.
anyone to be offered a happy
Where?
ending.
Just in Annerley.
That's what Pete
It was in Annerley. It was at Oasis. It was right by this train station.
They said, "Do you want a happy ending?"
So I went in and she'd done my back and everything, and then
Now
she
it's time
goes,
to do your cock.
and I'm on my front. I'm looking through the hole,
Boing.
and she goes,
On your knees?
"No, why are you on my
I
knees?
don't know.
Wait, which? Oh, her hole.
No. I thought maybe you were just like on your hands and knees. I don't know how it works.
You don't know how it works,
Hold on,
right?
hold on,
No,
hold on.
a massage.
Hold on. You don't know how a massage works.
I don't know how they were doing it. They might be doing something else.
They might have been doing something else. They might not be doing the normal massage. It might be completely different. It might be the first time anyone's tried this way anyway.
That just presumes you're on your knees. So you're on your knees. Go on.
Go on.
You're on your,
Looking
you're
through
on
this
your
hole.
hands and
I
Who's
thought
hole?
maybe you were getting
Yeah.
like milked. That was the offer. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
The offer.
we can imagine getting a hand job when you're on your hands and knees.
Milked.
But yeah, from behind.
Yeah.
Like a cow.
No, to be fair, it is quite cow-like.
What is?
The kind of happy ending. Because
What?
it's like a it's a farmer screeding cum out.
Oh,
of
well,
it.
it's not passionate, is it?
Wait. So what was the offer then? What did she
It's
say?
not passionate. It's not even about attraction. It's
she
literally
made me an
about
offer
getting
I
that
couldn't
cum out of
refuse.
your penis. That's all it's about. Would you like me to get your cum out of your balls?
But it's literally
I suppose so. It's like nothing else, is it? Because it's not with a prostitute. You might go, oh, I like the look of that prostitute.
Can you wear lingerie?
Yeah, and then, a one-night stand, love, all of that.
You love all of it?
I love all of it. Love, the spectrum of what sex is. The happy ending is right at the bottom.
Yeah.
Because it's literally, usually like a 60-year-old lady going like, would you like me to get the milk out of your balls? That's it. It's purely that. Okay.
So it was massage oil she had on my back, and I was there for it was a deep tissue massage. So it wasn't like a sensual kind of music playing. There was very quiet Chinese music playing. But it was a sports massage basically.
Yeah.
And then near the end, she just goes, "Happy ending, Mister."
Is that a direct quote?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Happy ending, Mister.
So hold on.
And I go,
Can we hear a bit before? Do a bit before.
She pretty much silent.
Silent, and then was that okay? End of massage.
It was more we were coming to the end. So actually, what happened is I'd paid for half an hour.
He was just about to start coming. Yeah,
I'd paid for half an hour, and then I felt like it needed a bit more, so I got 45 minutes. I paid for another 15, and halfway through that 15,
well, you can't blame her for offering you a happy ending. Then
she was like, "This guy's clearly trying." She basically thought I was probably coming on to her by saying, "Yeah, add another 15,
another 15, love."
Put another one on.
Put another one on.
Like you're pissed. Another 15 minutes.
Now my cock. Now do me cock.
She said happy ending, and then I said no. And what I like about both the Chinese masseuses who have offered me a happy ending.
No.
Wait, so did this?
You were gone for an hour.
Where's the second one?
This is the
Where's
second
the first one?
It was in Soho.
He said no, but Horatio told us that he was going to be gone for half an hour. He was gone for 1 hour.
I added 15 minutes.
He was gone for 1 hour. We're still not accounting for 15 minutes. We're unaccounted for.
Look, I did pause. I didn't say no immediately. I did go no, thank you. That would be weird.
There's no world that you would have said yes.
No.
Did you say that would be weird to her?
No, I didn't. But then she laughs. She laughs.
Yeah.
And then she taps me and just goes, just gives me like a little pat. Oh,
you.
Oh, you.
Oh, yeah.
You fucking pussy.
You fucking.
Yeah, because it could have gone a completely different way with that. Yeah, fascinating. I think it's a fairly
I wouldn't be crazy against a happy ending. Theoretically, I don't think it'd be the worst way to come.
No, I think it's worse than porn. I think the feeling after that, the loathing, the self-loathing would be off the scale. I think
you got it, and then you've got it. You got
to clean up. Like,
no, but she's cleaning it up.
No, you are.
You seem to know a lot.
I assume so because it's a service.
They're not going to make you. Yeah.
It's a service.
Clean it up.
There's paper towels everywhere. I mean, what I didn't like is that she'd been massaging me for 45 minutes. I'm like, how many cocks have you massaged?
That's a good point.
I mean? Immediately, it's like, well, what?
Yeah.
What else has happened on
you
this bed?
You went in at like 5 p.m. That's end of day. You've got cocks all over your back, pal. You've got fucking cocks everywhere. That's
rubbed into my deep tissue.
Rubbed deep in. Your back feels a bit better though, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
I think.
No, then you got to pay more. That's where the shame comes.
Well, obviously.
Yeah, but that's where the shame comes.
It's not complimentary.
Yeah, on that. Yeah, it's like asking for.
I don't mind paying for the fairly.
It's like an after 8 mint after a curry.
Yeah, the payment's not an issue because if someone I'm paying someone to wank me off. Yeah, you can get your payment.
See, for me, the payment is the issue. I'm not.
Oh, you think if she's like, sorry, this is a bit forward, but your back is so
beautiful.
Please, can I toss you?
Can I please wank you off? I'd say yes, madam. But that is.
I tell you what, I don't think you'd have as much shame because I think, for example, so already there's an interesting question about cheating if it's with a prostitute. More so than obviously cheating in real
What's
life.
interesting about?
Well, it's more of a question if you're paying for it than if it's with. You're picking someone up on a one night stand.
I think
on a scale of cheating, right?
I don't see it.
There is a difference.
Would you not say? Would you say?
You think it's less cheating?
You cheating on your girlfriend by picking up a girl at a bar, going back to her, having a one night stand, is as bad or worse than paying a prostitute for sex at a brothel?
I think they're equally bad in different ways.
Go on.
There's kind of more of a emotional element, I suppose, if you meet a
prostitute,
even a one night, then a prostitute, obviously. if you meet someone on a one night stand, there's a bit of it. You've had enough of a connection to get that woman back home,
right?
But a prostitute, that's like hard cheating. That's like. I want to cheat on you so badly, I'm willing to pay for it.
Also, I think so in France, especially. I mean, they already have mistresses there, but it's much more common practice. I mean, it is the French. We can't really judge our sexual morals on a people who fucking shove a corn cob down a goose's neck. But
I zoned out for a minute. We'll go with it.
But it's quite normal for French husbands to go to brothels in Paris and France.
Yeah, sure.
That's just much more normalised.
But there's something...
Yeah, that's normal because the French view of it is more like, well, he's a man and he needs to come every which way, obviously, and it'll help our marriage if he's getting it somewhere else.
I understand it. I know the emotional thing, as I said.
It's the main
agree.
thing for
But
me.
then it's the seediness and you might... Look, people have been known to fuck it when they're pissed in a club. They might have taken some drugs and they make a terrible decision because, they're in that moment. If you're planning to go and fuck a prosy.
I think even if they're... I'm trying to put myself because it's a bit... Annoyingly, there doesn't seem to be much
sex
of
worker.
Sex worker.
There doesn't seem to be a flip side for women going to male prostitutes, so it's hard to put yourself in that headspace. But I'm trying to imagine it if it was my partner. But I think, let's say I'm the girlfriend and my boyfriend was drunk and got with someone, I think that's way less excuse than going sober to a prostitute, because the cold corporatism of it, the fact that it's a transactional, that you'll never see that person again, and that they're doing a service.
Sober to a prostitute.
But flip it.
Far worse than being like, oh, sorry, I was pissed and horny. What the fuck?
Flip it with, imagine
way worse.
Your girlfriends.
I don't think it's way worse.
I think it's way worse, because it's also like...
I think they're in the same,
it's
pretty
also
similar ballpark.
Your respective girlfriends.
Yeah.
How are you reacting in the two cases?
Well, that's what I mean.
Andrew,
not really...
say L like went and found a male prostitute versus met some guy.
If she went sober to a prostitute,
I think you...
That reveals a lot of things.
I think the problem is the male prostitute, that's already a weird thing, because it's more like, this isn't even a done thing.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? It's like,
you're really unhappy.
There's not even a precedent for this.
Yeah. You're a maverick. You're a sexual maverick.
Where have you found this? How much, like, what corner of the internet did you find a male prostitutes that you know?
I don't know. I think
male prostitutes are mainly used for like 60-year-old women.
Genuinely, I think going sober and paying for sex is worse than being absolutely fucked and having sex.
Can you please ask Elle what she thinks? I'll be fascinated to know.
We'll see what people say in the comments as well.
Yeah.
By the way, I
on a
see the
spectrum,
argument.
I think it's considerably worse.
I think considerably
Wouldn't
worse.
you agree, Charlie?
Yeah, I do agree.
Considerably worse, I think, is a
connection
mad
element.
take from both of you. I think
Would you agree it's considerably?
incredibly similarly horrible.
No, they're awful. They're both awful.
No, it's all cheating.
But like,
it's all past an unacceptable line.
Considerably worse.
But the thing that hurts,
planning, going on a website, booking a prostitute,
it's more
traveling
transactional.
there,
It's like a card,
paying
though.
200
You're
quid
clicking
from
what
it.
the services you want.
It's much more transactional. You're shopping rather than like,
I've
had a connection with someone.
I don't think people are going to agree with you two here. We'll see in the comments. It's an
It's
interesting
the human
one.
connection element that hurts.
You're over-egging a bit the human connection that happens on a drunken one-night stand. Definitely.
Well, they can be.
A lot of the time that is transactional sex in some ways. As you're drunk at a bar, you go back and have sex. You never see him again. You're over-egging the emotional element to that. But at least you're drunk and you've made a mistake, rather than I'm looking out for sex workers online and paying them 200 quid, traveling to them, doing it, coming back.
But
that's sober.
But there's zero question of the human connection with that. With the prostitute, you're not.
But again, this is why I think is similar, and maybe I don't know. I
don't think it's even close.
But that's
because like a drunken nightstand, it's more like genuinely. I think more so than even the prostitute.
But what are you looking for in a one night stand? You're not looking.
The one night stand is nearly always revealing a far worse truth than the prostitution ever will.
Then a guy going sober to a prostitute.
If I'm thinking about,
guys are nuts.
If I'm thinking about the kind of. Yeah, I think that would reveal a far worse
thing. A drunken mistake rather than a prostitute.
It's the carelessness of it.
You can work through.
Yeah.
You've thrown it all away with a one night stand, whereas like you could work through. There's clearly some weird shit going on. You've gone shopping for like transactional sex.
That's way more of you've broken the trust way more.
No, I'm not sure you have.
Yeah,
definitely not.
It's not definitely. It's not
for
definitely.
me. I'm talking about my opinion.
I'm interested in people's, because that's kind of mad to me. I would genuinely think that if you're fucked on a night out and make a stupid mistake, and it's not, one night stands are not emotional. The one night stands I have had are not emotional.
They can be. They definitely can be.
Of course they can be.
They can be very tender.
But often emotional.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I've cried after all of mine.
You can't imagine a lot of one night stands are fairly transactional in that way as well. They're sexual.
If you're with a one night stand, she's going to be playing over who that girl is in her head constantly, and she's imagining you meeting her on a night out, you flirt, and you having that whole thing. With a prostitute,
I'm imagining you put your £100 in your pockets and travel down the road to go and have sex with a sex worker.
But it's so much what with cheating. It's not about you more than the other person. That's where all of the playing over in your head. It's about you comparing yourself to that other person. That's where all those negative thoughts.
I understand.
Happen.
I understand that point.
And they do not think about, if it's with the prostitution, it's all about your shit. It's nothing about them.
And there's no thought of my boyfriend is sort out a sex worker, pay for them.
But that's a far better place to be in.
Which I say far better for me is not the case.
Because
far better, I think, is a mad take.
The whole thing with the cheating, the thing that you cannot bear is you will just imagine
the intimacy and that other person.
But there's intimacy.
She'll be playing over you meeting someone in a bar in her head the whole time.
Yeah, but there's intimacy.
And
there's sexual intimacy with the sex worker.
But she's not thinking that, I don't think.
Okay.
Because it's a prostitute. Because it's this person who has sex with people for money 8 days, sometimes 8 times a day.
But it's not about her, it's about the fact that you sort it out.
Okay.
Yes.
So that you're having that intimacy.
That's where the problem is, but that is far less of an issue than dealing with...
Because the woman doesn't like them, that's what you're saying. Because the woman can't ever like that man because they're a sex worker.
Because it's different.
Do you think...
but there's intimacy for the person who's cheating because they've sought out sexual intimacy with someone they paid for.
Sort of.
Absolutely they have. Of course they have.
But I'm just saying how it feels for them.
Yeah, which is... I will comment, I'm interested.
Do you think it's better?
I'm just saying they're very similar.
Would you say that it's better if they're cheating on somebody, they're cheating on you with somebody who is like 92 and they're lovely. They're like an old man called like Leonard, but he's like the sweetest old man. Does that make it better to be if they cheat on you with a really old man?
It's confusing for sure.
Is it better? I think it is better because it's like much more sweet and fun. They don't also necessarily have sex, but they do loads of snogging.
Well, if this person is genuinely in love with the old man, I'd be like, well, it's never going to work between us. You're clearly into 92-year-old men.
But he's very sweet.
Tell me this again.
Leonard wears like a kind of flap cap and he loves BBC Two.
For sure, it's hard to be angry at Leonard.
Right.
And he's very sweet. But you find out they've got be developing this kind of romantic relationship, her and Leonard.
No, it's fucked.
Was that more painful than if he's 29 and he's called like Leroy?
Your go-to young person's name is Leroy and old person's is Leonard.
Leonard or Leroy? I'd rather be cheated on with Leonard.
Yeah, I'd rather be cheated on with Leonard. For a man thing as well, it's like, I
can't compete with that. That guy's
if it's
90.
a young guy, it's like,
that brings it back to the prostitution thing. It's very similar.
She's found they are similar.
That's what I mean.
Of course it's similar.
But it's the same logic, where it's more like, that's just fucking Leonard. There's something weird going on with her. She's going with an 80-year-old guy who's fucking...
Yeah, because then it'll be like, great, we'll break up. You clearly want a 92-year-old guy. And I can't give you that.
I can't compete with that.
I can't give you that for like
90.
another 60 years, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Comment. We'll have some discourse.
Let's talk about Sydney Sweeney's bathwater.
It's a Smutty app.
Yeah, it's a very Smutty app. Yeah, so the kind of the big news of the week, I think, is a lot of controversy around, I think, Dr. Squatch.
Yeah.
I've released a new special limited edition bathwater soap that is the smell is or it's made with Sweeney's.
It's made with it, I think.
Yeah, and I think a lot of women have responded with quite negatively, saying that she's really not one for the girls anymore.
Right.
You know, this because it's maybe pushing the kind of male voyeurism to its furthest point almost.
Yeah. And
it got even worse because when people unboxed this limited edition soap, it has a hole in it. Get up an image of it.
It's got a hole in it.
It's got a hole in it.
Oh dear.
So find what it actually looked like.
Type in hole.
Yeah, everyone was talking on TikTok about this. And I guess it's interesting because it's like, so she's one of the, it was quite funny.
It definitely
is
got
the
a hole
two
in it.
big brand ambassadors for Dr. Squatch, I think it is.
Yeah.
Is Sydney Sweeney and Red Richardson.
Oh yeah.
And Ed was at Red Richardson's birthday.
No
and
hole.
said,
There's no hole.
It's interesting that Dr. Squatch has hired the biggest pair of tits in show business and Sydney Sweeney.
That's good. That's
good stuff.
That's
Come
good
on.
stuff. Yeah.
There's no hole in it.
I don't think
Oh,
there's
so
a
that's
hole.
probably fake news. That was just rage baiting people.
I think that's a joke. I think it's a joke.
But yeah, I guess it feels sometimes with the Sydney Sweeney stuff is that she is a kind of big enough star that maybe she doesn't need to do some of this stuff.
100%.
It's like she's getting big brand deals. She's definitely very business minded.
Well, I guess it's
but
less
it
of a
feels
money
like-
move, more of a marketing move. It's to kind of really solidify her as the forefront of sexuality, as the male
Right.
gaze, I guess. I don't really understand it personally. I've never really wanted any woman's bathwater, to be honest.
Yeah, I wonder how. But I guess
It's a new trend though. You see lots of like
Yeah, it's
OnlyFans
like
ladies.
Yeah,
There was someone.
Did you drink
ages
it?
ago.
What do you do with it?
I think
No,
so-
it's just the idea that there's a tiny bit of her in a soap.
Which is the saddest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Women in the day would do a few years ago. You see it around, I think. They'll sell their actual bathwater.
Yeah, all their dirty undies. It's the same sort of. It's the same on the same spectrum, right?
Yeah, it is. But bathwater is even further removed, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much
But
sexual
what about
about
her hair?
bathwater.
Why wouldn't she just sell her hair?
Well, she,
Well, no, it's too much.
supply, really. She's
And
not
also,
gonna,
is she actually putting her bathwater in there? Do you think?
that's the big question.
I think she should.
I'd think, it's a weird thing because there should
She
be
doesn't have to, but I think it would be. I think if you're going to make this
false
jump,
advertising.
Yeah,
There should be a regulatory body looking into this.
and I also think it'd be funny for all the men who have done something sexual with this soap for her to come out and say, "By the way, my bathwater's not in there," and they're like, "Well, what the fuck was I wanking?"
What have
over?
I just come over for 2 weeks? Yeah. No, I think it must be. But oddly, there should be someone. They'll have to put on the packet. When you put things
what
on
do
the
they have to
packet.
put on the packet?
Well, if they put Sydney Sweeney's
Made
bath,
with real, like they do with real fruit juice.
well, if they put it on the packet, there has to be. It's illegal to false advertise like that.
Right.
So it would have to be in there.
Yeah.
But
It's
how
not that
much
hard.
would they have to put in for it to be?
It's not exactly
Not much.
taxing.
Yeah.
It's not taxing. She just gets in the bath, gets out immediately. It'll count. She could just
She could
bash,
also
she
put
could
a
bash
fucking.
out. But
She could put a fucking foot in it.
yeah,
It's true.
But they'd probably love that. They'd probably prefer that.
It's true.
I'd stick my elbow in.
That's good. You wouldn't even feel it.
Bang.
Bang.
I guess legally that's fine.
Legally, that's fine because that
Yeah.
is your bathwater.
Yeah. Or is she going around the factory and there's like a big vats of these waters?
She's still in there. Just like getting pushed around, like in Willy Wonka. Just pushed around in the bath.
what is the limit of this? Do you think? Is it like her sort of chewed up lunch? Like what?
soap.
like
Sydney
she-
Sweeney's chewed up lunch soap.
Tastes like ham.
Like where does this end?
I
This-
guess what this represents though is the swing back against the kind of almost like after Me Too there was there was a move against the over sexualization of women, right? And now this
reclaiming
is
it.
kind of like with the swing. There's something fascistic about this, is there not?
Yeah.
Or like there's something like
Yeah, 100%.
it's red meat's back on the menu.
It is.
It's fucking. We're drinking milk. We're smoking fags. We're driving petrol cars. We're eating red meat and tits and
tits are back on the menu. That's I
it's a
completely
trend,
agree.
right? It's just symbolic of a
It's
of a
reclaiming.
cultural
It's
shift.
reclaiming feminine
Tits.
sexuality, isn't it? And that's where we are.
Well, I guess back because there was a period where advertising it would be like blue short hair and morbidly obese, and it would be like if we can be clean as well or whatever, or like
We could be clean as
I
well.
don't know, whatever, like inclusivity with soap, or be like it'll be the advertising was about
Yeah. We're beautiful too, is what they're saying.
sort of, but I forgot what was even the kind of the ideology behind those ads.
Which has
You know what I'm talking about?
body positivity.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just more like
Well, it's we're beautiful too.
yeah.
Like this mainstream idea of what beauty is not real, and we
It
should
comes
be
in
as
many forms.
Yeah, and
I guess
we're
if you
as
look at the
beautiful as
the Dove adverts, but
that. It's real women. Is what
yeah,
it's saying.
and now we're like boo,
Boo. Yeah.
Let's get some fake women on it.
We can now buy Sydney Sweeney's bathwater.
So it's
Yeah, I think it is the official end of the body positivity movement.
yeah.
Who are the fucking freaks that buy it?
Yeah.
Now-
Well, I mean, but is it? I don't think you're gonna be shocked.
They walk among us.
There's every freak, you name it, and a guy's into it.
Okay, if you were going to buy Sydney Sweeney's bathwater, right?
Yeah.
This soap.
Soap, admittedly, if it's bathwater, it's more understandable than the soap.
I completely agree. Get your rocks offshore.
Like a bath load of her fucking dirty water you put in your own bath.
Do your thing.
Wait, I thought that's
Have
what
a
it
good
was.
old time in your bathroom with that.
I thought that's what it is.
No, it's
What do you think it was?
I thought it was her bathwater in a vial.
No, it's bathwater.
You
infused-
have to listen to some of what we're talking
a
about.
bit, just a bit. You've actually typed in soap in the Google search there.
Do you know what I would do if I was Sydney Sweeney? Fucking shit in the bath. I don't know if that's worse or better.
Poo
So
soap.
it's fucking awful soap.
You would lose everything
Yeah, I guess
if you
so.
shut a bit this.
What about, because it'd be a lot
Because
of
then it's like Sydney Sweeney smells of shit. Over. What are the guys doing who buy it?
Yeah, maybe.
Genuinely. So it's obviously a sexual thing, obviously, and soap isn't a particularly sexual thing.
Find out what else it smells of, because it's
When
not
you
going to smell
spice
of
up.
just...
What are the guys doing with it? What are they doing?
They're in the... I'll tell you, because if you look at the marketing
Are they
campaign,
washing and wanking?
I think, to be honest, genuinely...
I think they're sucking it, man.
No.
I've just...
Well, here we go. It would appear that Sweeney and Dr. Sweat's unique bit of branding paid off as the soap which is made from pine bark extract, exfoliating sand, and droplets of the active bathwater.
Makes sense. But right, you've paid top dollar for Sydney Sweeney's bath water soap. You're clearly a horny man. You've spent some money on getting that. What are you doing when it arrives in the post? You've taken it out. What I'm doing? You've got the box. Go.
Okay, so I shower every day. That's now my shower soap.
Yeah.
I've got it there. Every time I'm in the shower now.
You're having a wank.
Not every time. It's titillating.
Now, what I think is...
In a way, it's like it's titillating the idea of it. And sometimes I will. Sometimes it will turn me on the idea of it.
I don't think you're thinking about the men who have bought this soap. I think you're thinking about you.
Right.
These guys are like, they would pay top dollar to get anything to do with her.
Yeah.
They're sucking that soap and they're having a wank when it arrives.
But I don't think it'd be nice to suck.
They're
rubbing on their dicks.
Yeah.
There is no way that arrives and they are not running straight to the shower and having a soapy wank.
Yeah.
There's no way. These guys are fucking degenerates.
Yeah.
Are any of them eating it?
Yes, Charlie, they are.
Yeah.
I think quite a lot.
With their hands or with a knife and fork?
With their hands. I believe, here's a crazy statistic, I believe 30% of the people that bought that are sucking it straight out of the box. 30%. It's expensive soap. You're not using it for soap. You're not buying a nice soap. You're buying a sex soap.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a great soap. It probably isn't.
It's not. You're doing something weird with it.
Yeah.
Because what do people do with the bathwater vials?
Wait,
Drink it, I reckon. They'll drink it. 100%.
is that a thing?
Yeah.
So she's doing vials and
No,
soap?
not Sydney Sweeney. But
Listen!
yeah, it's just going back over
Who's
the
doing the vial?
Like OnlyFans models.
OnlyFans models.
Right.
Yeah, so like, yeah. And it was a really like... But I guess the thing about this is it's kind of genius branding because it starts a whole conversation. People talk about it. Everyone now knows the brand.
That's true. Yeah, that's what it is at the end of the day.
It is. It's just for this sort of to talk about it.
Yeah.
What?
And now we're peddling soap, like low soap peddlers.
What, do we sell soap now? I thought we were a podcast.
I thought we were a podcast, but now
we're
we
soap
are.
salesmen.
We're peddling soap to horny little rancid soap munchers.
If you were
Stop eating the soap.
If you were doing it, if you had to release a sort of soap,
Don't ask. Oh, release the soap. I thought you were going to ask the same question Andrew just asked me.
Yeah.
no. If you were going to release a soap with stuff in it, what of your bodily
Knob.
stuff would you put
Not
in
soap.
it? Tears.
Horatio will do balls. I'll do knob.
I'd do tears.
Yeah, I guess Tears is more.
Tears is kind
Tears
of
is more of an art piece rather than no one's getting the rocks off on Charlie's.
Well, it could
Tears.
be kind of horny.
No.
Look how sad he is.
I think Tears, celebrity Tears put into a soap is quite funny.
It is.
So like.
Well,
yeah.
it's like Paltrow's fanny perfume. Paltrow's fanny candle.
Yeah.
What's that?
You've never heard it?
Gwyneth Paltrow had like a.
This is why you're so like happy about life. You just don't know half of the shit that goes on. Yeah, she sold a candle that smelled like a vagina. It's very famous.
Her vagina.
Yeah.
Goop. Oh no, right. I thought her vagina was called Goop.
Yeah, that's not. Her vagina's called Goop. Goop. Not just the candle. Her vagina is called
Goop.
But do you think this is all, because this is actually, I forgot about this vagina candle, but I guess this is in the lineage of the vagina candle. Do you think this is now going to kind of normalize this and there's going to come more and more this sort of like turning your genitals and self into
wax and
into homeware sort of like, or like.
Well, look, the vagina candle wasn't a look.
What would be good is to go into someone's bathroom and they've got every bit of their thing as a different like woman's thing.
God, imagine having a shower with Sydney Sweeney's soap bath water.
You got like fucking Scarlett Johansson's toothpaste.
Gwyneth Paltrow's fannies. Now, look, I think the vagina candle is different to the bathwater soap because the vagina candle is a lot less sexual. The vagina candle is actually for the girls.
Yes, that's what I mean. This is what I mean about.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah,
Why?
it is. Goop is aimed at white women.
It's an
guys.
art piece, really. It's an idea. It's a.
And
What if I made a candle?
some
that
men
smelled
buying
I guess
that.
what I'm
There are
finding
men buying
interesting is the.
true.
What
There are.
I'm finding interesting is the for the girls and for the boys list of all of this. And I think Sydney Sweeney, who for a period would have been for the girls a little bit maybe, or at least had been like still respectful to the girls.
Harder
I
to
think this-
wank with a candle. Soap, shower, wank.
But then you
Candle, No wank.
And I guess the faux outrage for the TikToks with the holes in them, even though that's not true, it's breaking down what it means.
It's true in some ways.
Yes.
In many ways, it's more true than the truth.
It's a higher truth.
It's a higher truth. It's a higher truth. So we're not false podcasting. There's actually a higher truth. It's more true than the truth.
It's an imaginary hole.
Exactly. It's a metaphorical hole.
Go on, Charlie.
But I don't buy the fact that it's for the fanny candle is for the girl, because that means that you'd have like a Bryan Cranston
no, it doesn't.
clock that smells like
Now,
his knob.
why would it imply?
No, it doesn't.
Hold on, no, pause. Why? Let's really go through that logic. Why does Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina candle, being mostly for a female audience, mean that Bryan Cranston would have to have a cock candle as well?
No,
Why?
a clock.
A clock?
A clock that smells like his knob, yeah.
What, the Bryan Cranston knob clock? Well, it's got
that smells like his knob. What? Because of
what? And it's a sort of space race between Paltrow and Cranston.
What? It's a lot worse having a clock that smells like a knob, because you can never get away from it. At least with a candle, you get to choose when you smell Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina.
I think it's for the girls because it's camp, it's fun, it's not taking themselves too seriously.
It's the point behind it, though.
Yeah.
There is, isn't there? Which is for the girls.
Yeah,
It's like
I completely agree.
It's like, why not? Why don't we make candles that smell like our vaginas?
And Paltrow's not in like a male gazy period of her life.
No,
She's
no.
a businesswoman.
It's a feminist
health
candle.
product. Yeah, it's
It's
feminist.
100% a feminist candle.
And Sydney Sweeney's bathwater is not feminist.
That is opposite of feminism. Well, no, it's not. It's this new wave.
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's not new wave. It's just
It's
going
like
back.
third wave.
No, it's just going back to second, I think.
But that isn't second the, like, I don't know, more of a... Well, there was
the first wave is suffragettes.
suffragettes. The second is like...
First wave is this.
First wave is
first
that.
wave.
We should get a mug for every wave.
Second wave is be like. Is it more like be like a man?
Can you look up the waves of feminism, please, Charlie?
Second wave is 70s, 80s boss ass bitch.
So what's like the... But there's... And then
And
there's...
the third wave is sectional, which is inclusive of trans people. It's
Yeah.
kind of body positivity, gender's a construct, all that sort of stuff.
But then there's... Because within that, though, there's a disavowing...
Fourth wave. Oh, that's
Yeah,
fourth
yeah, because
wave.
that's what I think we're doing. Because there's
Right.
a disavowing of traditional feminine kind of how you like looks, how you dress, personality kind of thing. Whereas now we're coming back to more that can be a feminist act in itself as well by embracing femininity.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Because fourth wave, it's got so postmodern, right, that you can basically, if you're a woman and you say it's feminist, then you have to sort of respect that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you can have like hijabi feminism sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Like you could be in a full burqa.
Yeah.
And it's like,
And that's
this
feminine because
empower-
you're a female lady.
and it empowers me as a woman. It's like we have to respect that.
Yeah.
I think you can maybe do that, but that's kind of a get out of jail free card for anything. You can do whatever you want.
You can. That's true. Look, it means a lot. It means a lot more than we can unpack on this podcast.
Can we do one question from one of the patrons?
So we're going to go over to the Patreon now, which we'd love it if you joined. It is great. We go stronger every day. We go more powerful every day. And we're going to do a Q&A episode with questions from the Patreon.
We're going to do one question
We're going to
now.
do one now. And we're going to do...
You get to choose, Charlie.
The question is... Well, we can choose between two.
Have you not chose one?
I have chosen one, yeah.
Okay.
He's down here. I mean, I do like that one. If you could add 10 to any number in the world, what would you choose?
That's good. That's a great question.
If you could
This
add
is from
one.
Peter Hartley.
Peter Hartley.
If you could add 10 to any number in the world, what would you choose?
That's fascinating.
It's a paradox, isn't it?
No, because there's so many opportunities.
But then no, because you're just creating a number that already exists.
What do you mean? What do
If you
think
could
the
add
question means?
10 to any number in the world, what would you choose?
I think he
So if
means...
I say 7,
No. I think what he means is any number of anything, right? I thought what you meant, which is a much more interesting question, like, for example, if you chose to add a 0 to your bank account,
right?
it would give you that.
So
if it was like
so a physical number.
the amount of Eiffel Tower...
I don't think he means that.
I took it as Andrew did.
Oh, right.
But let's
I think that's a much more interesting question.
Yeah, let's do- let's do
That's
that.
a nonsense question then.
100%.
Let's do
It
yours.
is a
I think-
nonsense question, but it is kind of
For
it's kind of
example-
interesting for some
For
reason.
example, it would be like, if you add a 0 to the amount of Eiffel Towers in the world, there'd be 10 Eiffel Towers.
That's a good point.
Do you know what I mean?
I quite like that one. Where are you going to put him?
Yeah, I don't know, because what you'd want
Well, on like
if
a-
you had like a Joker-esque sort of anarchist vibe to you, you could just where could you wreak the most havoc by
People.
adding a 0? Yes, there's 8 billion people in the world.
Trillion.
I think it'd be 80 billion.
Something like that. Something lame.
Okay. Yeah, we'd add it to the population of the world. We'd go from 8 billion to 80 billion.
Absolutely fucked.
If we became 80 billion right now, would and it was run like that, do you think
There'd be like 7 more people.
would we get all squished?
Yeah, because we're presuming an even distribution amongst the world.
Weirdly,
So I think we'd have like 7 more people would just arrive in here.
Yeah, I saw someone try and work out
fun.
what if all people were stacked together, how much space it would be. So there's 8 billion people in the world. If they were stacked as like,
Not loads.
they said Manhattan,
Yeah, that sounds
which
about...
is kind of mad. I thought it'd be more.
But when you
So
really
we're
think
all
about
like
it,
this.
we're very rarely that close together.
Yeah, but you see big.
Isn't that sad?
Yeah.
Isn't that a really
but you
bleak
think
point?
But you think about the pyramid stage at Glastonbury, right? 300,000 people, 200,000 people.
Yes, a lot.
That feels like a lot of people.
But we're nowhere near Manhattan at that point, and that's quite a lot of people. You know, we're not that far off a million in this this
I
scope.
guess so. Yeah, maybe.
Well, someone could eat, surely.
I guess you're packing them. You're stacking like this.
Yeah, sardines.
Like sardines, but 8 billion sardines. It should be about
Yeah.
Manhattan.
So we can add a billy to the world's population. No problem. We just
Yeah.
all go to Manhattan.
Yeah.
I keep it more local. I'd have like I have 3 brothers, so I'd add a 0.
Well, you'd probably say I've got 0.
No, 30 brothers. I'd have 30. Yeah. And we just all roll around together.
You'd add a 0 to the global total of porn videos in the world.
More, because you run out.
You've run out. You've already run out, haven't you? You just hit a refresh nowadays. Waiting for new ones.
Amount of Sydney Sweeney's tits. 0.
20.
She's now got 20.
20.
It's udders, basically, at this point.
They are. They're just there for milk. And they are as well anyway.
That's what I believe.
5th wave feminism. Tits are for milk. See you next week.
Bye.